People don't want to hear your opinion. What they really want to hear is their opinion coming out of your mouth. Do you agree with this or not? Mostly yes. Not as a rule, but plenty are like this for sure. I think you just want to hear me agreeing with you. Like with many things, it depends. Some people want to be told what they want to hear. Some people already know what to do and they just want validation and feel right in their choice. Some people might genuinely value and want input from other people. Yes and no. I used to be like that, but nowadays I often prefer hearing a well-explained opposite view. Broadens my horizon. I suppose so, depending on the person. I believe that people appreciate having their opinions validated, but truly learning and growing requires hearing and accepting diverse perspectives. I get a kick out of folks who patiently set the table for me to say something they want me to say. Agree. What actor or actress ruins a movie for you? She doesn't ruin, but I audibly groan whenever she shows up. Gwyneth Paltrow. Nobody mentioned Steven Seagal. Ezra Miller. John Wilkes Booth. I just can't get past what he did. Elizabeth Moss. The hypocrisy of her starring in The Handmaid's Tale and also being a practicing Scientologist is too much for me. Also, she looks just like an ex-girlfriend who dumped me. Those Scientology nutters. Jared Leto. If I know he's in the movie, I avoid it like the plague. Cara Delevingne, for whatever reason. There is something so unserious about her acting. The Rock plays himself wherever he appears. Now it becomes a film about Rock. No one has said James Corden yet? James Corden. Any Scientologist. That cult creeps me out. Lena Dunham. What book should everyone read once in their life? Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. The Count of Monte Cristo. All Quiet on the Western Front. There's a monster at the end of this book. Grover. East of Eden. Lonesome Dove. Love, loss, adventure, beautiful imagery and a writing style that you'll remember forever. I believe the book won the Pulitzer Prize too. Night by Elie Wiesel. The Rule Book of Monopoly. Holes. The Stranger by Albert Camus. Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. What is something that old people love that you don't understand? There is this weird type of traditional Vietnamese music my parents said that only old people like and they could not stand it either. A decade later and apparently they enjoy it. I await my turn in fear. Andre Rieu. In my country Brazil, old people sit in front of their houses and do absolutely nothing for hours, just watching people in cars go by. This is more common for lower social class. For instance, my grandma and her friends gather every day at someone's door and just sit there until the night comes. They are retired, watching the news constantly, telling anyone who will listen about their various ailments. Look, I'm 57, so I'm ancient by Reddit standards. But I vowed early on that I will not become one of these oversharing old people. They love asking me what I'm doing with my life, smiley face. What is something that you will never try in your life? Opioids outside of a hospital. Feeding a big shark. I want to keep my hands. Meth. Skydiving. Not for $1 million. Seems to be lots of scary drugs out there, so I say hard drugs. Free climbing. Cutting the dick myself. Dating apps. YouTube Premium. What it's like to ride a giraffe. Stinky tofu. It makes me puke just by the smell. Swimming with electric eels. Meth. Probably meth. Oh, and heroin. For sure those two. Smoking. I literally would not become a smoker for $1 million. I don't get it. Anal. Suicide. A ghost pepper to eat. The second hottest pepper in the world is this one. Meth. No way, no how, not ever, not even for millions of dollars. What is the most pants-shitting paranormal experience you've had? I did events at a heritage home and was often there late at night after weddings. I was trying to close up and doors kept unlocking and opening, setting off the motion sensor, etc., which prevented me from setting the alarm to leave. I called the cops, thinking maybe it was some wedding guests playing games or hiding in closets or something. They combed the whole house with me and the same things were happening. I finally said I just want to go home and everything stopped. I've never had a ghost shit in my pants. Think I know of. Working in the medication room of a old-ass prison when the heavy-ass metal door that I 6'250 had to use some strength to move just casually opened up as if it did it on regular basis. I freaked out and my coworker offered me one of her tampons. What is the worst time to have your baby? After crashing on a mysterious island. During the bar exam. There was a lady that did though, and then she passed it. Legend. When you're an addict. In a refugee camp, with bombs exploding overhead and a cholera outbreak. Whenever you can't take care of a child. As a teen. From my experience, between 4:30–6:30 a.m. on an operating table for an emergency C-section because part of your placenta ruptured and you started bleeding out while the power proceeds to go out. Twice. Mid-cartwheel. Shooting it straight up into the sky like a tetherball. What is, without a doubt, the dumbest thing any celebrity or famous person has said? No, I didn't go to England, I went to London. Paris Hilton. Definitely when Antonio Brown said this. My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see me, Antonio Brown, play a game live. Sure, I can watch the game afterwards, but I can't imagine what that was like for you all to see something like that. Like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks. Mark Wahlberg saying if he had been on Flight 11 like he was supposed to, it wouldn't have crashed because he would have killed the terrorists, then figured out how to land the plane. Congressman Hank Johnson saying Guam will capsize due to additional military personnel. What is your worst holiday experience? Flew to Italy for a wedding. Got appendicitis on the morning of the ceremony. Holiday vacation, or holiday special occasion? Vacation-wise, camping in France as a child in the early 80s and being so sick I hallucinated. Special occasion, when I was 12, doctors told my parents to enjoy Christmas and they discussed cancer-estimating results in the new year. We were served Alma's caviar as the restaurant had run out of Stratarga Bianco caviar. Absolutely ruined the holiday. Look up pontins in the UK on TikTok. One year I caught the flu on vacation and missed out on all the fun. Spent the whole time in bed watching TV. Not the best experience. Back to work tomorrow. What was the most disappointing movie you paid to see? Free tickets to Cats and I still feel I was overcharged. Aragon. It's not even close. My dad and I were huge fans of the series when it came out. We walked out of the movie early and it left such a bad taste in our mouths that we stopped reading the series. Cats. I couldn't believe anyone thought that was passable as quality. The Fantastic Four remake. ETA Font 4 Stick, 2015 is the one I'm talking about. Realized I should have specified that. Avatar The Last Airbender. $17 and change for the IMAX showing when it first came out. Pooh Blood and Honey. Please don't watch it. What's a song that is so beautiful that it makes you cry? Rainbow Connection. Some of the deepest lyrics, and it speaks to my sense of childhood innocence and adult understanding all at once. Time in a Bottle by Jim Croce. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. When my husband and I were together he used to sing it to me. Now I can't hear it without crying buckets. To Build a Home by Cinematic Orchestra. Fields of Gold Sting. It was played at my grandfather's funeral and makes me think of my mom. Landslide Fleetwood Mac. Really hits you when you get older and have kids. Also the Funeral Band of Horses. Reminds me of family I've lost. Not to Tears, but Claire de Lune by Debussy is just amazing. Bridge Over Troubled Water Simon and Garfunkel. The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face Roberta Flack. A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. The Night We Met by Lord Huron. This Woman's Work. What's something attractive people can do, that ugly people can't? Anyone can ask, but attractive people are so much more likely to get help from strangers. Just a sad little twisted fact of life. Get good tips as a waiter without really trying. I have a good-looking business partner. We are constantly delegating tasks based on whether we need Sasquatch or Captain America. Singer-artist. Even though looks have nothing to do with talent. Makes me wonder how many amazing voices are not being heard because the record company old fat dudes don't think the artist is hot. Go out broke and come home drunk. I've had one of my friends get rejected because the girl found the best friend of that guy me to be too ugly. My friend got rejected because I'm ugly. People will go completely out of their way to do things for them. Moving? Something broke? Card declined? Someone will help them. Ask for help and get help. What's the scary thing that happened to you when you were alone at home? I'm in the shower when all of a sudden somebody starts pounding on the bathroom door. It sounded like punching and kicking, trying to beat the door down. I jump out of the shower and rip the door open, butt-ass naked and dripping wet. Turns out my dog was laying against the door waiting for me. He was kicking the door while he scratched an itch. Almost choked to death on a peanut butter and honey sandwich. It was really bad. I couldn't breathe and needed the Hemlock Edit Heimlich maneuver performed on me. No one was around. I went to a doorway and began slamming my back against the wood frame. Knocked the food enough that I could kinda breathe and the food made a horrible whistling sound. Eventually inhaled the food and my lung hurt for many weeks afterward. Which cheap and mass-produced item is stupendously well engineered? The lid of a Tic Tac container. It's a simple molded hinge made of a single piece of plastic. You can't make a cheaper hinge than that. Yet it almost never breaks under normal use. Cardboard remains king. Very basic rice cookers, they rely on the properties of water not being able to go above 100 degrees Celsius. Once all the water is gone it starts heating up past 100 C and that makes the magnet at the bottom less magnetic and it clicks over to warming. Or something like that. I'm not an expert but it is surprisingly simple and effective. Paperclip, pens, scissors, a Bic lighter. It's actually so well thought out if you study it carefully. And competitors can't even copy it or do it better. It's actually an ingenious little product. Aluminum cans.